good afternoon. CMS alumni, friends, and families. Welcome to the Ted Ducey CMS Hall of Fame induction ceremony for the class of 2023. This marks the 32nd class of CMS Hall of Fame inductees. This group consists of 13 Athenas and Stags. The 2023 inductees include team captains, national champions, multiple-time All-Americans, All-Region, All-Skyak, and Skyak Athletes of the Year. Your program outlines a detailed list of accomplishments of our inductees. The 13 outstanding individuals being inducted this year are David Austen, CMC class of 1973 for football. Tim Behrens, CMC class of 1997 for water polo. Darcy Burton Harlan, CMC class of 1999 for water polo and basketball. Jonathan Byers, CMC class of 1993 for soccer. Tain Lee, CMC class of 2012 for golf. Jeff Manassero, CMC and Harvey Mudd College class of 2007 for football. Suzy Nicoletti, CMC class of 2002 for swimming. Annie Richardson Wright, CMC class of 2006 for water polo. Evelyn Ross-Shapiro, Scripps College class of 2009 for cross country and track and field. Pam Tanase, CMC class of 1998 for Athenas swimming and diving and water polo. Larry Wang, CMC class of 2009 for tennis. Kevin Zitar, CMC class of 1996 for basketball. And Raymond Bim Jollymour, Stags golf coach who is being inducted posthumously. To get the festivities started, please welcome CMS Hall of Famer and Director of Athletics Advancement, Mr. Mike Sutton, class of 1976.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad to be with you today in Roberts Pavilion. This ceremony has evolved from an evening event in November to a weekend of alumni gatherings culminating in the celebration of exceptional Athenas and Stags from the 75 years of our history. From the Pomona-Claremont era to the Claremont Mudd years to our present 21-sport Claremont Mudd Scripps PE and athletic program. Over 30 years ago, Dr. Bill Darcy envisioned this event, and in 1991, we began celebrating athletes who helped establish our teams and our reputation for across-the-board excellence. Including this class of 2023, we will have celebrated 168 impactful alums and their careers, and I hope that you will all thoroughly enjoy today's recognitions and the times that we've had. This afternoon, I am feeling the presence of Dr. Darcy, who founded the Claremont Mudd PE and athletic program, believing that quality athletic competition elevates the educational experiences of our student athletes and plays a significant role in our personal development. We have sustained this principle, and today we engage over 500 student athletes on our teams every year. Bill Darcy was followed by John Zinda, David Wells, Terry Toomey, and me, and now the program is led by Erica Perkins Jasper. The colleges and our students have had a unique and challenging time for the past 4 years, and Erica has done a remarkable job of leading our coaches and partnering with our student affairs teams to support our students through the dark years and back into the present light. It's my great pleasure to get to work with Erica now and see where the program goes from here. So please welcome Erica Jasper, the William B. Darcy Chair of Physical Education and Athletics, and George Roberts Fellow, our CMS Director of Athletics.
Mike's a little taller than I am. Thank you, Mike, for the kind introduction, and welcome, everyone. What an incredible crowd, and the arena really does look amazing. I've got to give a shout out to our team who, if you were here for the basketball games yesterday, This was a basketball arena, and today it's a beautiful event space. So thanks to our team for making this happen. As Mike referenced, I'm exceptionally fortunate to be able to serve our student athletes, coaches, and alumni, and to be part of the incredible lineage of athletic directors here at CMS. I'm especially thankful that I have the opportunity to work with Mike throughout the year, and that I've felt connected to the amazing history as a department from the day I walked in the door. Thank you, Mike. As I look out, I see quite a few current members of the Ted Ducey Hall of Fame in attendance today. And while very modest, I would like all of you to stand and wave and be recognized. Please stand. As both Jim and Mike mentioned, this year's class is an all-star cast of Athena and Stag greats. We have 13 multi-year team captains, team MVPs, all SCIAC performers, SCIAC Players of the Year, and SCIAC champions, All-Americans, and national champions. We also have SCIAC and national coaches of the year. But what I've learned, and last night was really fun as I got to connect with folks and their family and friends, is that all of our inductees might have been even better off the fields of competition as best friends, lab partners, roommates, tutors, study partners, and maybe some other antics on campus. These Stags and Athenas were incredible students and inspirational teammates, and they made those around them better on a daily basis. So to our inductees, who are all sitting in the front, today is your day. Enjoy the moment, all the love in the room from your friends, your family, and especially your CMS family. Thank you for setting an incredible example for today's and future Athena and Stag student athletes. It's time to celebrate you.
Thank you, Erica and Mike. And now let's get started with introducing this year's exceptional class of Hall of Famers. Our first inductee today is David Austen. Austen was a dominant blocker as an offensive tackle on the powerhouse Stag teams of the early 1970s, which included the 1970 SCIAC championship team, earning 3 consecutive selections to both the first team All-SCIAC and NAIA District 3 teams.
Dave Austen was a force of nature on the field. Off the field, he's a really nice guy.
Dave Austen achieved the highest level of recognition, being named second-team All-American for the 1971 season. He was first-team All-League and first-team All-District for 3 years running. Film from the 1970 Redlands game survives, and I'm fairly sure we're going to see a few plays with big number 72 lining up at right tackle. The Stags won 35-0, setting up a championship game 2 weeks later with Whittier, which we also won our school's first football championship.
Off the field, fantastic guy. I remember a story that someone told me that a pizza was accidentally delivered to Dave's room, and totally in character for him. He went out, tried to find people that were hungry, that would want to share a slice with him, and that's just the way Dave was. On the field, it was the physicality of his play. It was the intelligent nature of his style that separated him. But if we needed a few yards, we were going over Dave. We knew it, the other team knew it, and there was nothing they could do about it.
David also competed for the Stags in wrestling, attaining second place in the heavyweight division in both 1971 and 1972. David and I roomed together freshman and sophomore years, making us the heaviest room on campus. After losing an altercation with him, I decided to find a smaller roommate, but we remained the best of friends and are to this day.
But his greatest accomplishment was probably meeting Marge, his wife, and together they've raised a very large family. And I know Dave is extremely proud of each and every one of his 17 grandchildren.
David, I am proud to be your teammate, your fellow offensive tackle, your roommate, your typist and editor, your best man, and your 50-plus year friend. Thank God for CMS athletics.
Dave, I want to say how proud I am to be a part of your induction ceremony. I want to say congratulations to you and to your family on this well-deserved honor. And I'm very fortunate to be able to call you friend to this day. Congratulations.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer David Austen. Presenting David with his CMS Hall of Fame plaque is Stags football teammate Tim Nissen.
Today's the day for the line to shine. We got another inductee who's a lineman, offensive lineman too. And I'm really proud to have been a lineman. And next to me played tight end was Will Wilkins. And Will went on to coach championship teams in California. On the other side of me was in the year that we won the co-championship was Howard Wright. Howard and I were sitting next to each other on the bus to the Whittier game where I was going to set us up for the co-championship. And I was jacked beyond being jacked. It was an exciting time. But Howard was asleep. I said, Howard, can you sleep? How can you sleep? And someone explained to me that he was a Marine. He had just got back from Vietnam and had pretty traumatic experiences there. So he could sleep for a championship game. And at center, Tim started my freshman year at center. And then Pete Morandi came on and he took over the center job. And we moved Tim to the blindside tackle. And Pete went on to coach championship teams in California. And then on the other side of the center was Arnie. And Arnie was a smallish guard. He was 5'10", 180. And the way you can tell how good a player is when he gets hurt and he gets replaced and you don't win. And that's what happened. Arnie was out a couple of games and we replaced him, but we couldn't replace him and we lost those games. And then on the far side was the blind tackle, was Tim, my roommate. And Tim was also kind of a pulling tackle. He would lead the runners on their route to the touchdown. And then the far end was Dave Beck. And he was our wide receiver. And he's a local boy, grew up in Claremont, moved up to Portland with me. Yeah. So, and then when they announced that I was going to do this, they said I had to write a 4-minute speech. And that was as daunting as doing a senior thesis. And the Friday before the senior thesis was due, Tim came over to my room and asked me how far along I was, if I'd completed the task. And I said, hey, I've got all my notes together. And Tim immediately put together a production team. I wrote in longhand. He typed. Someone else corrected the typing. Someone else they did some more editing and correction, and then they had someone packaging my senior thesis. And then we had a car that was warmed up and ready, and we delivered that senior thesis with minutes to spare. And Chris Runco wanted to make sure that I didn't mention the fact that we held him over the railing at Wolford, or we held him horizontally between the elevator doors in Fawcett. So, thank you.
Thank you, David, and congratulations on your induction into the Ted Ducey CMS Hall of Fame. Next up, we are celebrating Tim Behrens. As the Stags goalie, he helped lead the Stags to 3 straight SCIAC championships and a 29-1 SCIAC record, along with 2 fourth-place finishes and a 5th-place finish in WWPA.
I guess what makes Tim a standout Stag is that he took it upon himself to go and meet with Coach Sutton before every practice and ensure that our practice plan was up to his caliber and his standard.
The team had great senior leadership and a terrific group of rookies that year. We returned the Stags to the top of the SCIAC in the WWPA. Tim was recognized right away as the best goalie in the conference, was consequently named SCIAC MVP and all WWPA all the years he played for us.
He just came in, he was the ultimate team player. Supreme confidence. What I remember from Timmy is he gave our team confidence with his confidence. It was contagious. So we always thought we had a chance to win, no matter who we were playing.
I remember Tim specifically. We were training together for the junior team. There were Olympic goalies at this camp, and Tim was by far the best goalie there. Tim, sorry that you didn't take Jack's spot, but you deserved it.
Tim was a leader because he was a student of the game, because he worked hard, because he was skilled. But I think he was a leader, most importantly, because we respected him. I think we were really lucky to have some great coaches on the deck. We were particularly lucky that we had Tim, a player coach, in the water with us.
I credit Chris for helping Tim to decide to join the Stags. What a great call. From day one, Tim's abilities and leadership and his strength of personality showed through, particularly in just saying no to his opposing shooters.
I think Tim elevated our team to a level of success we couldn't have reached without him. I know he provided us confidence on defense that carried over to our offensive sets. I know for a fact he intimidated other shooters. You could see it in the extra pump fake. You could see him thinking before they decided to shoot. It all played into our hands, and we have Tim to thank for that.
We had an especially close team then. Tim, I'm so glad you chose to join us. You helped make me a better coach. I'm so proud of what we accomplished together then and what you've done since. Congratulations, and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Tim, very deserving. Congratulations.
Tim, congratulations on being inducted into CMS's Hall of Fame. I can think of no other member of the rookie class of the century more deserving of this honor. So happy for you. Congratulations, and all the best to you and your family. Love you, brother.
Timmy told me that when they called him to tell him he was going to be in the Hall of Fame, that he thought they were calling him to let him know that his brother was going to be in the Hall of Fame. No, Tim, you're in the Hall of Fame. Stop it with this fake humility stuff. You know you're good. You deserve it. Congratulations, Timmy.
I have the honor of introducing a teammate who's being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. I may be biased because he's my brother and best friend, but I think it was an obvious choice. But I am glad that others were the ones who voted and concurred. Playing water polo with Tim those few years in college was an amazing experience. Had a great time. As a team, as brothers, I think we all created some amazing memories as we were winning games as Stags. Tim, being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight is yet another sign that people recognize your dedication and commitment to the sport. Congratulations.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer Tim Behrens. Presenting Tim with his Hall of Fame plaque is his brother and Stags teammate, Chris Behrens.
Wasn't expecting that, that's for sure. It was a little bit more, a lot more emotional than I expected to make myself feel. So thank you everyone. Thank you for this honor. Coach Sutton, thank you for everything you did for me. You didn't touch on half of what you did for me in that speech, and I appreciate all of it. To my team, the rookie class of the century, the seniors, Bill and Jay that were there, that showed us the ropes, to Jeff and Gary, who made me feel comfortable because I knew coming in here that I was going to be in a strange place as a transfer. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I have stories. I'm not going into them because they're not PG. We had too much fun here. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I know I'm forgetting somebody. I've got my family. I've got to thank my parents. I've got to thank my current family because my wife, we were dating at the time, and she came out and made sure that I was fed. And I'm telling you right now, that is not an easy thing to do for a water polo player, right? And she did it for the last 2 years I was here. So thank you. And this honor means more than I can explain today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tim, and congratulations on your induction into the CMS Hall of Fame. Our third inductee today is Darcy Burton Harlan, a two-sport standout for the Athenas in water polo and basketball. Burton Harlan helped lead the Athenas water polo to the program's first 2 SCIAC championships in 1997 and 1999, and 4 top 3 finishes in collegiate 3 nationals. She also was a key contributor on the 1996 SCIAC Championship Athenas basketball team.
Darcy was a tremendous leader on the court, in the pool, and in the community. Not only was she captain of both water polo and basketball, but Darcy also was a leader for younger student athletes.
Part of what makes Darcy such a standout Athena was her ability to play both basketball and water polo. Water polo season would start right after the swimming and basketball seasons ended. So in the off-season and summer, Darcy spent extra time refining her water polo skills and becoming a better swimmer. Our competition would always play a zone defense against Darcy. In the championship game at the SCIAC tournament in 1999, we came from behind to win because we were able to isolate Darcy at 2 meters and get her the ball. She drew ejection after ejection, which allowed us to score 6-on-5 goals to come out on top.
For women's water polo, I had the distinct pleasure of playing with Darcy for 2 years. And I have to say, I can't think of a more committed, talented, kind, hardworking person than Darcy.
She was arguably the last non-swim water polo dual sport athlete to have such an impact on our program, improve year after year, and to play at a high level. Our program routinely would play against Division I programs, and Darcy was one of the only players on the team that had the ability to score. Had she been on a high school and club team prior to her days at CMS, I believe Darcy would have been asked to train with the senior national team.
Darcy belongs in the CMS Hall of Fame for her dedication and contribution to CMS athletics across both water polo and basketball for all 4 years of her career. But I do not believe athletics alone makes someone a Hall of Famer. Darcy was a successful athlete, student, and friend. Darcy is someone you can always count on to pick you up when you are down, encourage you to keep going, and laugh with you in good times and bad, in sports and in life.
There was a lot of hard work that went into being a competitive team. And when you think about what it takes to balance the academic rigors of the school with playing this sport, it really matters how you do that and who you do it with. And I think Darcy is really certainly one that I look up to and that I'm really honored to stand beside, not only as an athlete then, but as a friend now.
Darcy was a leader in the community. While at Claremont, Darcy coached a local 6th grade girls team and became a role model for young girls just starting on their athletic career. And Darcy did all of this with confidence, integrity, and a smile on her face.
Darcy, you are a fierce competitor, supportive teammate, and an absolute pleasure to coach. I am thrilled that all of your hard work, commitment, and excellence as an Athena water polo player is being recognized and honored. Congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction.
Congratulations, Darcy, on your induction into the CMS Hall of Fame. I want to thank you for reminding me how important it was to have fun as well as work hard.
I'm just really proud and honored to be part of this celebration as she's inducted. So congratulations, Darcy.
Congratulations, Darcy, on being inducted to the CMS Hall of Fame. You should be proud of all your accomplishments in the pool, on the court, in academics, and most importantly, in life. You have always been someone to look up to, and I continue to value your friendship every day. I couldn't think of anyone more deserving of this honor. Darcy, congratulations on this amazing accomplishment.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer Darcy Burton Harlan. Presenting Darcy with her Hall of Fame plaque is Athena teammate and CMS Hall of Famer Anna Phelps and Athena teammate Corinne Linehan.
Thank you so much. I want to thank, that was very moving, and after 25 years you kind of forget a little bit about, you know, what you did or what you said or perhaps impact that you may have had, and it's very touching to be reminded of that. I want to thank the Claremont Mud Scripts Committee to nominating me for this honor. Obviously, thank you to Corinne and Anna for those beautiful words, and teammates. And I get to be inducted also, which is such an honor, with people from my generation, and also my my water polo coach, Pam Tanase, who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Like it was alluded to, I didn't play in high school, and I didn't play water polo in high school. I came here to play basketball for Jody. And I started playing water polo when I was a junior. I was introduced to the game when I was a junior in high school because the boy I was dating played water polo. And I was playing volleyball, and it was a hot September day. And he's like, grueling 2.5 hour practice, come over to the pool to cool off. Okay, sounds amazing. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get on a raft with like a glass of lemonade or something of that nature. And his dad greets me at the door, and he has like a whistle around his, and I go out and I'm looking for the raft that I'm going to get on, and there's zero rafts, and there's a cemented water polo goal at the side of the pool. There's a cart of water polo balls and a radar gun, and I was like, I didn't sign up for this. What are we doing now? And he's like, oh, just hop in. James needs a little, like, you know, shooting, like, just, you know, whatever. I don't even know how to swim barely, or like, let alone tread water. And so I'm in the shallow end, and then he goes, you know, go over there. You got to go to the deep end, and we're going to teach you how to do this thing with your legs called the egg beater. Okay, so I'm like trying to hold on to the side, and they're throwing balls at me, and anyway, that went on for 2 years, and James got his scholarship to USC, and his father pulled me aside. He's like, find out who the water polo coach is at Claremont, and introduce yourself, and ask if you can try out for the team. I was like, oh, I can't do that. He's like, just trust me. And so I found Pam, and I said, Pam, hi, I'm Darcy. I'd like to try out for the water polo team. She's like, oh, awesome. You know, Pam has this $1 million smile. Oh, great. Where did you play water polo? I didn't. Oh, that's okay. You know, so where did you swim? You know, what was your 100 time? Oh, don't have that either. And then she's like, okay, well, just show up on like the first day of practice. And I said, oh, I can't do that. I'm on the basketball team. And she's like, well, just show up whenever you can, and you know, whatever. The rest is history. But you know, when you think back on these times, you think about, you can't remember those games or some of those things that were articulated, but it's the great poet Maya Angelou said, and I'm paraphrasing, "You will not remember what they said, you will not remember what they did, but you'll remember how they made you feel." And that's what being a part of the Claremont Mud Scripps athletic community, that's what resonates with me every single day, is the friendships that I've made, the relationships. That's what I take with me, and I'm so incredibly grateful. So thank you for this honor.
Thank you, Darcy, and congratulations on your induction into the CMS Hall of Fame. Stags soccer standout Jonathan Byers is our next inductee. The Stags went 43-3 in SCIAC with 4 SCIAC championships and a regional championship in 1989 during Byers' 4-year run with the Stags, which also included an appearance in the NCAA Division III tournament in 1992. He was the first 2-time All-American in Stag soccer program history.
I was contacted by a high school player from Esperanza High School in Orange County. When I got there, my attention was almost immediately drawn to another player who turned out to be Jonathan Byers, who I thought was a better player and was a terrific player, as a matter of fact. And consequently, I contacted Jonathan. In the end, he applied, got accepted, and decided to come to CMC, and I was entirely joyful over that fact. Jonathan was my sweeper for basically 3 years. Sweeper was a position that most soccer teams don't use nowadays. Jonathan was probably the best sweeper I ever coached, and I always felt in the system we used, if you don't have a good sweeper, you just haven't got a good defense.
So I remember playing with John as a midfielder. I'd come back, and sometimes, you know, there would be a counterattack from the other team, and you'd have this sense of dread, like, oh, they've got a great opportunity here. And John would just sort of come out of nowhere with some play and just sweep it up and take the ball away, and then he would do it again and again. And, you know, there'd be a whole sense over the fields, and the other team would just be like, oh man, we're in trouble. How are we going to get by this guy?
His freshman year, by the end of the season, he was a starter. Sophomore year, he was our starting sweeper, played much better, made second team All-SCIAC. But his third and fourth years was when he really came into his own. Both years, he was a first team All-SCIAC player. In fact, his junior year, he was chosen as SCIAC Player of the Year. His senior year, he was an NCAA Division III first team All-American. He was also our most valuable player both years. He was somebody who improved as much as any player I've ever coached. I deeply respect him for that.
He really led by example, and he did that especially on the field. Brought something special to the team. He brought something needed to the team, and everybody saw that. So he just earned our respect. So John, you're a great leader and made a big difference for all of us.
Hi, John. Congratulations. You possessed everything you could ever ask for in a teammate. You obviously had an incredibly high skill level and soccer IQ, but it's your other qualities that distinguished you. Dedication, selflessness, grit, humility, integrity. I know I speak for all your former teammates when I say it was a tremendous privilege and pleasure to have played with you. Congratulations again. You earned it.
Jonathan, I am very proud of you, both as a player and as a person. It was my joy to coach you for 4 years and see you improve from being a freshman who wasn't playing much and was having a tough time coping with the pace of the college game to being one of the very best players in the country. You were as good a combination as a player and as a person as anyone I have ever coached in my 29 years. Congratulations, Jonathan, for being chosen to the CMS Hall of Fame.
So John, what a great experience it was playing with you. You're an amazing player, a great guy. You were fun to be around. We had some success on the field, and I'm really happy for you. So congratulations, John, on being a Hall of Famer.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer Jonathan Byers. Presenting Jonathan with his Hall of Fame plaque is CMS Hall of Famer Steve Davis, who coached the Stag soccer team from 1969 to 1997.
So this really is a bit overwhelming, and Rob Miller, you are very, very sneaky. I am genuinely honored to share this moment in this remarkable place with a group of extraordinary scholar athletes, with a family that I love beyond measure, and with some of the best friends that a man can ask for. My parents would have loved this, and I wish they could have been a part of this day. If they were here right now, I'd tell them that at the time, I didn't understand it, but now I get it. Now I know how much you invested in me, how hard you worked to get me on this campus, how hard you worked to keep me on this campus, the sort of love and support that you brought to me in a very unique way. And it's my hope that my beautiful wife, Sarah, and I can provide the same sort of opportunities that my parents have provided me. One of the most meaningful things for me about this event is that it's given me a chance to reconnect with Coach Davis. A few weeks ago, Coach Davis asked me to share with him some of the highlights that I remember from my playing days. And the first thing that came to my mind wasn't a game or a play within the game. It was a feeling, this sense of belonging and a sense of connectedness, common purpose, family. The first thing that came to my mind was how good it felt to be a part of a team that trained incredibly hard for one another every day to flat out compete every game for 4 years. And that feeling doesn't happen by accident. That's the culture I walked into, and that sort of culture is created through the hard and very intentional work of college presidents and athletic directors, coaches, program staff, and the blood, sweat, and tears of the players that came before me. To one degree or another, I think each of these student athletes who played for Coach Davis carried this feeling forward into the future. So to you, Coach Davis, let me simply say that I learned a thing or two about soccer when I was playing for you. But more importantly, you set a standard for integrity and character that I am still trying to meet and consistently fail to achieve. I realize that you've already been inducted into the Hall of Fame. I know that it's not my place to mark and measure the value of a career, but it is impossible, in my estimation, to quantify the amount of good that you've done for the thousands of students who have been in your classroom and who followed you onto the field. And for that, sir, thank you. I'll end roughly where I began. To my fellow inductees, I am in awe of what you've accomplished. What you've done is truly astonishing to me. To my wife, Sarah, and my kids, Sophia and Jeremy, I love you very much. I'm being acknowledged for some things that happened like 30 years ago. But if there's like a husband and a dad Hall of Fame, like I'm gonna spend at least the next 30 years trying to get into that one. To my parents-in-law, John and Julie, Becky, Peter, Chris, you have no idea how much it's meant to me to marry into a family that treats me as their own. I am just so grateful that I'm sharing a life with you all. And to my friends who made this trip to Claremont today, some by plane from far away places, you have and always will be brothers to me. I am grateful that you could all be here, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, and welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame. Our next honoree is Stags golfer Tain Lee. Lee is the most decorated Stags golfer in program history, having won the 2010 NCAA Division III Individual National Championship as a sophomore, to go along with first-team All-America, All-SCIAC, All-West region selections in each of his 4 years.
He was hands down the best golfer we have ever had on our roster. Tain was not only an incredible, talent as it related to golf. His work ethic and dedication was also something that, I really looked up to as a teammate.
My favorite athletic memory of Tain is definitely when he won the national championship in 2010. I think we all knew Tain was the best player in SCIAC, but seeing him put it all together and play and perform against the nation's best players was really amazing to see. And I definitely think it puts CMS on the map in the world of college golf.
My favorite memory was getting to walk with Tain at the Young Guns tourney in El Paso. Being there with Tain, with his dad, and with his opponent's dad, who were both Stag soccer teammates, was a time to treasure.
I could say he's the ultimate competitor. He works hard day in, day out. I knew I was going to get his best, so I'd have to bring my best. And we'd had our fair share of wins. He probably had a few more wins than I did.
He set so many records. He was shooting in the mid-60s on a D3 golf team at a pretty consistent clip. As a freshman, he came in 8th at Nationals. He won his sophomore year. He came runner-up his junior year, and then he came in 5th his senior year. That's pretty incredible, and I think that, you know, golf is a pretty time-consuming sport, and so to do all that while at Claremont McKenna and studying as hard as he did is a pretty incredible feat.
Tain was an incredible teammate, a great friend, and really he emerged as a core leader of the team and a core leader of the program. Tain wasn't there for the 2016 national championship win, but that really started with him, his leadership, his ability to help convince other great golfers to come to Claremont. I think the program owes a lot to Tain and what he was able to do on the golf course and off the golf course.
Tain is a Hall of Famer because he's the best golfer in CMS history. I don't think there's an award he didn't win during his time here, and I could list all the clutch shots that he made, but Tain is a Hall of Famer today not only because of his achievements on the golf course, but because of the way that he conducts himself off the course as well. And if there was a Hall of Fame for one's character, Tain would definitely be inducted in there too.
What really separates him, I feel like, is his mental strength, especially in D3. It really took him to the next level, I feel like, and that's why he's playing professional now. Is he just has that ability to want to win, want to beat you, want to beat the course.
I just want to say that I'm honored to be here saying a few words about Tain. He's become an incredible friend of mine. I think that there is no one that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more than Tain Lee, and I'm really excited to see him up there. Go Stags.
Congratulations, Tain, on your induction into CMS Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Tain, on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Can't think of a better representative for Claremont McKenna College and CMS athletics, and you definitely deserve all the success coming your way.
Tain, congratulations for then and now, and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Tain, I'm really happy for you. Congratulations. Good luck on tour this year, and welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame.
As we speak, Tain is in the Bahamas pursuing his professional golf dream and competing over the next few days in the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic Tournament on the Corn Ferry Tour, which is a developmental tour for the PGA Tour. Accepting the plaque from Director of Athletics Erica Perkins Jasper today on Tain's behalf is current Stags golf head coach Mitchell Fedorka. Tain was certainly disappointed he could not make it today, but he took some time out of his busy schedule to share his thoughts on being a Stag golfer and what it meant to him to be inducted into the CMS Hall of Fame.
Hello, CMS family. First, I just want to say thank you so much for inducting me into the CMS Hall of Fame. I couldn't overstate how much of an honor, how big of an honor it is for me. Extremely grateful. I want to take a minute to thank all my teammates. Without my teammates, I'm obviously not here. I had a blast with my teammates in my 4 years in Claremont, and I really think they made my experiences what they were. And without naming all of them, I just want to say thank you so much to each and one of you guys. I want to thank my parents. My parents were instrumental in getting me to Claremont, supporting me in that way. My dad was a CMC alum. My sister was at Scripps at the time. She wanted me to come, and my mom was obviously very supportive of the Claremont colleges herself. And without them, I definitely wouldn't have gone to Claremont. And, most importantly, I just want to say I wish Coach Jollymour was here to celebrate this with. I'd like nothing else to be able to spend this time with Coach and just to be able to look back in the great times that we had together. Coach obviously was instrumental in, the reason why I went to Claremont. The first day that I met him, I remember him showing up to Ducey Gym in his shiny green Mustang, and he earned my trust from day one. I knew my 4 years in Claremont were going to be great after meeting him. He supported me, he coached me, and he felt like he was my number one fan during my 4 years at Claremont. He was obviously by my side at every one of those moments, and really all the experiences I had there. I would say we had so much fun together. He would always tell me that some of the decisions I made on the course were the reasons why his hair kept falling out. But we had a great time together. And not only during my years in Claremont, but I still pursue a professional golf career. And Coach is really my number one fan. He supported me, rooted for me in every which way, and would always keep in touch with me and make sure that I know that he believed in me and that he thought I would do great. So that obviously meant the world to me. Anyone close to me knows how much love and respect I have for Coach. But also Marge Jollymour. I hope Marge is proud. Proud of Coach and how great he was. I'm sure. I know that she was the one behind the scenes, and she was supporting him, and she's the reason why he was as great as he was. And I hope she can be proud. I now have a family, a wife and 2 kids, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to celebrate this with them. And with that, I just want to say congratulations to all the other inductees, and thank you again, and go Stags.
Thank you, Tain, and welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame. Tain's head coach during his time with the Stags was Raymond Jollymour, who is our next inductee. A beloved member of the CMS athletic department and fixture on the CMC campus community, Jollymour served as the Stags head coach for 19 seasons from 2002 to 2020. In 2016, he led the Stags to their first NCAA Division III national championship in program history. Coach Jollymour passed away in September and is being inducted posthumously.
Coach Jollymour was a great man. He was kind, he was smart, he was competitive, he had grace, he cared tremendously about other people, not just his own players, but anyone he touched.
I think what really made Coach Bim stand out as a coach, as a Stag, and as a person was really just his infectious smile. He would always be jolly, and it's in his name. I mean, he was just a really nice guy, rubbed everyone the right way. Even when we were struggling in our national championship, he's a very positive central force in people's lives.
It's an absolute no-brainer that Bim deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He changed the Stags golf from a program that hoped to make NCAAs and tried to contend for SCIAC titles to a team that expected to win SCIAC, expected to go to the national championship, and quite honestly expected to win a national championship.
And congrats to Coach Bim Jollymour, who won the Southern California Coach of the Year award, is a candidate for the National Coach of the Year.
What made Bim such a great leader, I feel, was he always put his players in the best possible position to succeed. He had a passion for just coaching in general, loved to recruit, obviously recruited Tain and Shigezawa, and I think that's a big part of why the program is where it is at today.
He knew when to be a friend and when to apply a little bit of tough love. And I think that's really one of the things that made him an outstanding coach and attracted golfers to Claremont and really allowed the program to excel and exceed all prior expectations under his leadership.
As a former Stag athlete and alumni Stag golfer, I cherished what our program has become over the years under his tutelage, his commitment, and his guidance. He never stopped believing that however good the team had been, it could be better, and he never stopped believing in each boy's capabilities to perform at a high level, given the right opportunity.
He came into my office one day and he sat down in a chair and looked at me and said, "Jody, why don't we have a women's golf program?" And I laughed, told him the reasons, but we all know that when Bim gets his mind made to get something done, it usually gets done. And within 2 years, we had a women's golf program. He also gave us half a huge donation to our program from his program. I don't know of anybody that would have done that, but that's the type of person Bim was.
What I think was really special about Bim's coaching approach was that he knew how to stay out of the way. In a very important way, he didn't overcoach. And overcoaching golf is quite hazardous, as I think everyone here knows. And it was just so nice to see the way that he managed the game and managed the competition and managed the players, giving them their fullest agency, but then knowing that he was there to support them in every way.
It makes me so happy that Coach is being inducted to the Hall of Fame. He's so deserving of the honor. Back in 2010, I'm at the NCAA National Championship as an individual. Coach by my side. We're on the 72nd hole, and we're trying to contemplate what to do. I was as nervous as can be. I wanted to win, but turned out Coach was too. Coach had a pair of sunglasses that he didn't need any longer because the sun was going down. He started fumbling them in his hands a little bit, and sure enough, a little too much nervous energy, he snapped them right in half. Funny moment at the time, but it showed me that Coach wanted to win just as much as I did, and he was as nervous as I was. That meant a lot to me. I think it was kind of a bonding moment and set the stage for what our 4 years together were going to be like. For myself and my teammates, Coach was always there, always supported us.
I'm really grateful to Bim Jollymour for joining our team. What a wonderful job he did in leading the Stags to the championships, and for all those great years of coaching, and such a great friend to all of us here in the department.
Congratulations to Coach Bim Jollymour. We all wish he was here with us today, but the mark that he's going to have on CMS athletics will be felt for years to come. Congrats, Bim.
Bim, we miss you. Welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame. We're sad that you're not here in person to be able to give you a hug and welcome you and congratulate you, but we know that you're here with us in spirit, and we thank you for everything you did for us throughout the years.
Congratulations, Bim. I'll miss you, and I appreciate that you're smiling down on us now and will be.
Congratulations, Coach, on being inducted into the CMS Hall of Fame. I can't think of anybody else who's more deserving of this honor. You built Stags Golf into an absolute powerhouse, one of the best programs on campus, won a national title, and you will forever be a Stags legend. I will forever be grateful that my life got to cross paths with yours. Thank you so much for everything.
Coach Jollymour's wife, Marge, and close friend Steve Noren are here to accept Coach's Hall of Fame plaque, presented by Director of Athletics Erica Perkins Jasper. Some words.
What am I going to do? You're good. Do you want me to stand with you? this is not good to be up here. I can't thank all of you and all the support that you gave Bim through the years. He loved his coaching with the team. In fact, I think he loved him more than he loved me sometimes, but he was always there and always helpful, and the kids I know loved him, and he just enjoyed it to no end. So thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Marge, Steve, and Erica for being with us today to celebrate the legacy of Coach Jollymour. CMS guests, before we continue with our program, we're now going to take a 10-minute intermission. Please stretch your legs and be back in your seats in 10 minutes. Thank you. are 1 minute away from starting our second half. Please find your seats. 1 minute warning. Starting on our second half of the Hall of Fame inductees. Starting off the second half of today's Ted Ducey CMS Hall of Fame ceremony is inductee Jeff Manassero. Jeff was a dominant offensive lineman for Stags football. Manassero, a four-year starter, was selected as All-SCIAC each season, earning first-team All-SCIAC 3 times and second-team All-SCIAC once.
Jeff was the epitome of lead by example. First one in the gym, last one off the field. Work hard, do your job, have fun along the way, and it just really rubbed off on all of us, and that's something I'll always remember about him.
Jeff's a standout for so many reasons. I want to start with commitment. He did it for 3 years. He did it with passion. He was consistent in his workouts. He was consistent in his prep. And particularly impressive that he did this while earning 2 degrees, one from Claremont McKenna College, one from Harvey Mudd College.
I was lucky enough to play with Jeff in the seasons of 03 and 04. I was a running back and he was one of my O-linemen, so we were obviously very close. As Coach Retz will attest, we had 2 plays, zone right and zone left. And even though we would call zone left, I would always go to the right because I knew Jeff always was on his block, probably had already pancaked the guy, and I had a huge hole to the right. So that was a special moment for me, getting to play with Jeff and always knowing that he had my back, had the block, and there was always an open running lane over there.
Jeff is a Hall of Famer for his work ethic and just being an absolute tactician on the field. He wasn't always the biggest, but there wasn't a block he couldn't make, and it didn't matter who he was going up against. And I know it's not an actual stat, but I'm sure if it was, he would lead all CMC linemen in pancakes.
My favorite memory of Jeff Manassero is the one time I had a short-lived victory competing against him our sophomore year. It was a pass rush drill in practice. I played defensive end. Jeff was playing offensive tackle. I decided rather than going around him with speed, I was going to catch him off guard and try to bull rush him, and I did, and I got him. Coach says, go again, and I decided to try to take the edge, and he proceeded to drive me to the ground, pancake, lay on top of me, lift me up, pat my butt, give me a smile, said, you're better than that, let's go.
My favorite athletic memory of Jeff happened against Laverne. Game was over, we were taking a knee, and of course their DN just comes barreling into him, and in typical Jeff fashion, just takes it, smiles, and calmly looks at the guy and says, man, 55, had you hit me that hard the entire game, you guys might have won. Classic Jeff.
We love you, Jeff. Congrats. You fully deserve this, and go Stags.
Jeff, congrats, my friend. couldn't be happier for you. So well deserved, buddy. I love you with all my heart. I'm thankful to have gotten to compete with you. I'm glad I was not on the opposite side of you, but we were on the same team. Well deserved to the best offensive lineman I know. Love you, man.
Jeffy Manis, congratulations on your induction to the Hall of Fame. Can't think of anyone more deserving. It was a pleasure to share the field with you. You're a great friend, a great teammate, and enjoy this night, my man. We'll see you at the after party.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer Jeff Manassero. Presenting Jeff with his Hall of Fame plaque is Stags football teammate Jason Kaminsky.
It goes by quick. So first I want to thank Arnie Hendrickson and Frank Wright for everything they've done for Stags football to build an alumni community, and I don't think I'd be standing up here today if it wasn't for them doing that. I also want to thank my parents. I started playing football when I was 8 years old, 15 years total with the last 4 getting to be at CMS. I don't think if I didn't get that early start, I don't know that I would be standing up here today either, because I wasn't really that athletic. To be honest, you don't necessarily have to be to play O-line. Like you heard in the video, I kind of learned the game, learned the technique, and just kept trying to get better at it. They talked a little bit about my love for pancake block. I will say that's one of the best feelings there is. As an offensive lineman, you don't get to have any stats. In 15 years, I don't think I have a stat unless somebody kept track of holding calls. I got some of those. But, you know, I like the fact that you can line up across from somebody, you battle that guy, you know what your job is. He may not know what your job is, but you know if you beat him or not every play. And there's nothing more definitive about that than if you can drive him back, put him on his back, and then as you heard, I like to lay on the guy a little bit longer than you're supposed to. And if you do that enough times, you can get the guy really mad and he might try to hit you or something. So I did get quite a few personal fouls called on the guy I was blocking. So I like to think in that way I directly got some yards for the Stags a few times. It's a rough position. I would say I was recently a little dismayed to hear the word arthritis said to me, and I'm not quite 40 yet. So I'm now developing a lifetime relationship, I think, with a couple of physical therapists and trying to avoid getting to know an orthopedic surgeon any better than I already do. People ask me if I would still play knowing all that, and I think it's hard to imagine not, because I don't know without all the things I learned playing the game my whole life, including wrapping it up at CMS, who I would be. I would say in a lot of ways football was the class where I learned the most directly applicable to life. Quick story on that, not too long after I graduated, I was in a job interview and a guy asked me, "What's your greatest achievement?" which is kind of one of those standard questions you should be prepared for. But I had no idea what to say. I was caught totally off guard. You know, I'd only been a couple years since I was playing football. So the first thing that came to mind naturally was, well, our triple overtime victory versus Cal Lutheran my senior year after not having beaten them for 3 years. That was a huge accomplishment. And I still think it was a good answer, because the reason I gave it was, for me, it was kind of the culmination of going from being like a very much just lead by example, do your job player, to trying to be a leader of the team. And I do think that my pregame speech was pretty good. Got some freshmen that we had many of them starting for us, very fired up, played their best game of the season. We were able to beat Cal Lutheran. But I don't think the guy I was telling this story to had ever played a sport in his life. So needless to say, I did not get that job. Having played for 15 years, it wasn't until that long ago that I could remember more of my life not playing than playing. So it was kind of with me for a while, and it's kind of hard to give it up in a way. It's not like other sports, like, I don't know, if you play basketball, you can go play. You can't go play O-line, and I don't know how to catch or throw. So football was over. So it was probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a little more than that. I was having a dream, and for some reason in this dream, I was playing D-line. Maybe subconsciously I still wanted to get that elusive stat. So So I was trying to get a sack, and I kept not quite getting there. So I knew I could do it if I just got off the ball a little faster. I was always good at getting off the ball fast. I lunged forward in my bed, got past the tackle, hit my forehead on the corner of the nightstand, woke up at 3 a.m. So the only stat I have to this day is 3 stitches in the ER at 3 a.m. Before I run out of time, I want to thank my teammates. Many of them are here today. I don't have time to thank them all or my coaches, but I will say, Jason, the feeling's mutual. You're the best D lineman in the SCIAC in 4 years. I faced them all, and I'm glad you were on my team. Spencer Schomer, blocking for someone like that made my life easier. He just knew how to read blocks better than anybody I ever blocked for. Aaron Gonzalez, you helped with your mobility in the pocket kind of hide the fact that I was too short to play tackle and was not as good of a pass blocker as I was a run blocker. So I'm very grateful to have played football at CMS, made lifelong friends, I believe. Still, the majority of my friends, period, are from CMS football. And in a time when SCIAC football's lost a few programs, I sincerely hope that CMS can keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, and congratulations on being inducted into the CMS Hall of Fame. Suzy Nicoletti is our next inductee. As a senior, Nicoletti swam her way to the NCAA Division III National Championship in the 200-yard breaststroke, becoming the first Athena swimmer to win a national championship. During her career, she was a 5-time All-American for the Athenas.
Suzy was a standout on many levels. No doubt she brought a lot of talent to the pool, but the best thing about her swimming was that she loved to race. Anybody, anytime, anywhere. She brought her best at the biggest meets, SCIAC championships, national championships. That's when she swam her best. She set a tone that really worked for generations of Athenas to come. My favorite athletic memory of Suzy, during her senior year at NC2As, she had already had a fantastic meet. She placed 5th in the 200 IM, 2nd in the 100-yard breaststroke, both in SCIAC record times. She qualified for the finals of the 200-yard breaststroke, and before the race came to me and said, hey, I'm going to take this out fast and see how long I can hold on. She followed her race plan and built a pretty big lead after 100 yards. And as the race went on, the field started creeping up on her, but at the end, she got her hand to the wall first and became CMS's first national champion for the Athenas in swimming and diving.
I remember I was studying abroad my junior year when I first heard that we'd get a talented new member of the swim team. I think at first there was concern that we might butt heads competing against each other, but as soon as we met, we became easy friends.
Suzy Nicoletti was a great leader and a great teammate. She brought great energy every single day, worked hard in practice, raised her game in competition, and was somebody that got the best out of the people around her. There's no doubt Suzy Nicoletti is a CMS Hall of Famer. During her 2 years swimming for the Athenas, she won maximum 6 of 6 SCIAC titles, maximum 6 of 6 individual event All-American awards, SCIAC records in all of those events. She showed what was possible at CMS, and the enthusiasm that was created through her career helped build a program that won 13 straight SCIAC championships after she graduated. I don't think that happens without Suzy and what she achieved during her career.
You know, I always took competition very seriously and personally, but you really enjoyed the act of competing and got pleasure out of challenging yourself, and that was really inspiring. Watching you love swimming so much changed my relationship to the sport, and that lives on in me today, so thank you. Outside of the pool, you were just as inspiring, handling personal challenges with grace and taking it upon yourself to grow no matter how hard that process was. In fact, to me, your accomplishments in the pool are the least impressive part of you, and if there were a Hall of Fame for life in general, I'd vote for your induction. So here's to you, Suzy. Congrats.
Suzy, congratulations on your induction into the CMS Athletics Hall of Fame. You achieved tremendous things during your time as a student athlete at CMS and set the stage for greatness to come. It was an honor to coach you, and it's been wonderful to know you over the last 20+ years. Well done.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer, Suzy Nicoletti. Presenting Suzy with her plaque as former Director of Athletics and CMS Aquatics coach, Mike Sutton.
Wow, thank you. When I first came to the campus of CMS over 20 years ago, I was transferring from another college and really had no intention of ever swimming again. Growing up, swimming had been the single thing that brought me the greatest joy and the best of friendships, but it all became too hard. So I quit swimming and transferred to Claremont for its strong academics, its great reputation, and community. And as I was walking the CMS campus just before starting my junior year, I met with Mike to explain to him why my swimming days were simply over. But to my surprise, he said, okay, swimming is just something we do here. It's not who you are anymore. And what struck me from our conversation is that he didn't talk to me about winning or results or sacrifice. Instead, he talked about the joy and the memories and what made CMS athletics a life-changing experience on a personal level. So I decided to swim again. And to be honest, I wasn't all in the beginning. Contrary to Lauren's video about butting heads, I remember several times where we decided to skip the main set and just sit in the hot tub instead, because that just sounded like more fun. But when Coach Charlie came on board for his first season back in 2002, everything changed. He created an environment where I was pushed to perform at my potential, but I was equally supported to never compromise on my own happiness. We worked hard, we found our passion for the sport, the team built unrivaled camaraderie, and swimming was fun again. And the biggest lesson I took from these years at CMC was to never compromise on working hard, while also finding the love in what you do. And above all, to make sure you have a leader who knows how to support you in finding the balance between the two. Thank you, Charlie. While I often don't reminisce on my swimming results from 2002, I'm forever grateful for this opportunity to have rediscovered my passion for swimming, which I brought with me as I moved to Los Angeles, San Francisco, and ultimately Sydney, where I live today, helping me build some of the strongest ongoing communities and friendships in my life. And reflecting on this upcoming trip, I've been wondering if the experience I had here was unique to me. But as everyone in this crowd would know today, there's something really special, almost magical, about the community that has been created by CMS Athletics. And a lot of that comes down to Mike and Charlie, who have created 20 years of incredibly successful teams, memories, and experiences. It was Mike and Charlie that I called when I was trying to land my first big job after college at a little up-and-coming company called Google, and who did a grueling 1-hour character evaluation to help me get hired. And almost 20 years later in Sydney, Australia, I found myself at leadership events constantly seated next to a guy who runs Bank of America for Australia. Over lunch last year, we finally put together that he graduated in CMS's class of '97, was on the football team, and had spoken with Mike just the week previous to our lunch. So even on the other side of the world, the CMS athletic bonds continue to be very special. I'm so proud to have been a part of this program, and now to see so many amazing ladies have come in after me to raise the bar. I look forward to seeing the amazing future ahead. A couple thank yous. First to my family, to my dad who couldn't be here today because he has COVID, but thank you for getting up early and picking me up late for all those swim practices. Now that I have 3 kids, I realize what a nightmare that must have been. To my brothers, Tony and Johnny, thank you for always being a part of this special passion of mine. From high school swim meets, to watching me do the Maui Channel swims throughout the 2000s, to being here today. It means everything. To my husband, Joe, who is Australian, where college sports is nothing like it is to us here in America. He has no idea what this is about, but he supported me by getting on a 14-hour flight with our 3 little girls. To Laura Tain, thank you for being such a big part of my CMS experience and for the relationships in future swimming I know we'll do together. And to my 3 little girls, Charlie, Grace, and Amelia, from this experience, I hope to guide you to find yourselves in a place that allows you to become the very best version of yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzy, and congratulations on being inducted into the CMS Hall of Fame. We stay in the pool for our next inductee, Annie Richardson Wright. In each of her 3 seasons with the Athenas, Richardson was selected as a first-team All-American. As a senior, Richardson guided the Athenas to the SCIAC Championship and its first ever bid to the NCAA Championships, and as a result was named Division III National Player of the Year.
Annie came to Claremont during a time of coaching transitions in the aquatic programs, and at a time when women's water polo was growing so rapidly. She's the daughter of an Olympian, coached by a legend, and she brought with her that passion and desire that I saw in every aspect of her life on campus.
The team could stand on her shoulders, and really she could carry them to those victories, you know, leading the team to a SCIAC championship and then into the NCAA tournament.
We won SCIACs our senior year. We got to go to the NCAA final tournament and play some Olympians, which was pretty wild.
During the careers of the class of 2006, the Athenas made the move from the middle of the SCIAC to a championship, and with that, an invitation to the NC2A tournament. While there, they competed against USC, UC Davis, and in their final game, defeated Marist College for the first win by a Division III institution in NC2A championship competition.
That's probably my most favorite memory, playing water polo with Annie, had to have been that senior year. But being able to play together, go to that tournament, represent CMS, represent Division III, win a game, which was against Marist, I'm pretty sure.
She was the kind of player that you want to play with, somebody that you could always rely on, always showed up, always was present, always gave 100%. But also was just someone that pat you on the back, had a smile on her face, enjoyed what she did, and it showed amongst her teammates. Her teammates tremendously respected her.
She was so encouraging. You know, I can remember a few times when I was kind of feeling down about how I was playing, and she was so encouraging to me, and I thought like, oh man, okay, if Annie's encouraging me, like I can do this, I got this.
She was the MVP of our team. Every year we played together. We always looked to her if we were down and we needed to get a quick goal. We would look to her for strategy. We looked to her for just leadership. You know, I think that was something that I think everyone could agree that Annie was just a natural leader.
Annie, we are so proud of you. I'm proud of what you have been able to accomplish, both in the pool and more importantly, outside the pool. I'm proud of being your brother-in-law. I'm proud of being your friend. I feel so fortunate to have been part of some of your past and recent successes, including my favorite ones, Keone and Calais, and know that there are many future successes for you and your family. CMS Hall of Fame is a better place with you in it. Congratulations.
Annie, congratulations on all you have accomplished in your life. I'm so proud of you. You made a significant impact on the Athena water polo program and our development. Congratulations, and welcome to the CMS and Ducey Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, so well deserved, not at all surprised. You were amazing, and I am sure you continue to be amazing. I wish you the best of luck with everything, and I miss you.
I want to send a huge congratulations, Annie, for your selection to the CMS Hall of Fame. A truly deserving honor. You're an incredible teammate, incredible athlete. It was a true pleasure to be a part of your journey here at CMS.
I just want to say congratulations, Annie. I'm so proud of you. This is so deserved. I'm so happy for you, and I know that this is going to be a really wonderful memory for you and your family, so I was so happy to be a part of it. Congratulations again, and, you know, go Athenas.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Fame inductee, Annie Richardson Wright. Presenting Annie with her Hall of Fame plaque is Annie's husband, J.P. Wright, CMC class of 2007.
Hi, thank you so much. Just really overwhelmed to be here and so honored to be getting inducted with all of these other wonderful inductees, so thank you so much. I put my husband, J.P. Wright, also a Stags water polo player, graduated in 2007. I put him in charge of this trip, making sure that we were all in order with our 2 kids and that we had kind of everything we were supposed to do and check off all the boxes. And he told me on the flight over here, by the way, you have a 4-minute speech that you're gonna have to give. So sort of winging it, but it's not hard because just coming back here brings back all these wonderful memories. I, like Suzy before me, sort of ended up at Claremont unexpectedly. I had started off at another college playing water polo, and it wasn't a fit. And fortunately, I was able to come to Claremont and join the water polo team here, and what an experience that was. I met my husband, got my family out of all of this, so I'm so incredibly grateful. And to see these videos is just really heartwarming. Our senior year, Carrie and Diana and I think we just looked around at the team and we thought, you know, we can do this, we can win, we can be the first team to go to the NCAA tournament. And at that time, it wasn't separated into divisions, so we were playing with these top Division I teams. And it was such a special experience that we got. And so to be back here right now and reliving it is such an honor. I'm so very grateful. So thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who came out and made it to support me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Annie, and congratulations on being inducted into the CMS Hall of Fame. Track and field and cross country standout, Evelyn Ross-Shapiro is our next inductee. In Ross-Shapiro's 7 seasons at CMS between track and field and cross country, the Athenas won 6 Skyac championships, 3 in track and 3 in cross country. She qualified for nationals 3 times in each sport.
I have 3 good memories of Evelyn, I think, in general. The first would be during her total time as a CMS athlete, she was one of the hardest workers we've ever had here. She was also a really, really good competitor. Another thing that Evelyn seemed to have to me was a huge drive. She drive to be the best she could be. She always seemed to have a little bit of doubt if she could do it, which I think in her case just made her work that much harder to be the best she could possibly be. I think overall one of the reasons that Evelyn should be inducted into the Hall of Fame now, her times and her influence on our program, cross country and track, has stayed steady over these last 13 years since she graduated.
Well, her athletic accomplishments, I think, speak for themselves. She was a 2-time All-American in the steeplechase, was a participant at the national championships in cross country and track 3 times each, and a leader for the women's team throughout her time at Scripps. With the steeplechase in particular, her main event, she still holds the Skyac record and the overall record, and those records have stood since 2008 now.
As a leader and a team member, Evelyn brought a lot to our program. Not only was she the team captain in cross country, but she was also the MVP in track and field. She was the Scripps Athlete of the Year twice, both junior and senior years. And one of the things that made her real special was her giving. As a senior, a competition called the Ox Invitational. It was the last meet of the year prior to the national championships. It's a time when most of our athletes had a chance to do their favorite event or try to qualify for nationals. In Evelyn's case, instead of doing that, what she actually did was pace one of her teammates for a 10K who wanted to qualify for nationals. Taylor Smiley was a junior at the time, and Evelyn agreed to run with her for a full 10K at her pace to try to encourage her and bring her on to a time that would qualify her for national championships. And she actually ended up running 37:02, which is still on our top 10 list. And during that time, she brought Taylor around to a time of 37:06, which is also still on our top 10 list. But she gave of herself not running an event, whether that would be the 5,000, which she would have been a lot better for, to help a teammate. Made it really, really special and something that was very, very memorable to me.
Evelyn, congratulations on your induction into the CMS Hall of Fame. It's a well-deserved honor. I really enjoyed coaching you and running with you all those years. Congratulations.
Okay, Evelyn, this is it. You have made it. You are in the class of 2023, the CMS Hall of Fame. You've come such a long way from that little tiny Regis High School in beautiful Iowa, all the way through Scripps College, all the way through medical school, and even into the family. We're so proud of all that you've accomplished. We'd like to thank you and your family for coming here today, as well as thank and appreciate everyone else that's being inducted into the CMS Hall of Fame today.
Please Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer, Evelyn Ross-Shapiro. Presenting Evelyn with her Hall of Fame plaque is CMS Hall of Famer and former cross-country and track and field coach, John Goldhammer.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. For me, for all the inductees, this is really beautiful. And such a privilege to have this weekend to relive memories and see coaches and friends that we haven't seen for years. Thank you, Mike, for putting this on, and the whole CMS athletic department. This is really special. Coach surprised me. He made me cry watching that video. I forgot the whole Taylor Smiley 10K thing. And, you know, that is the type of team that we had and the culture that Coach Goldhammer created, where you had the best friends of your life and you did whatever you needed, you know, for those teammates and for those friends. There's a handful of teammates today who are actually a couple classes ahead of me, and they're here, you know, today to be here. And every year, didn't matter, you know, I was I guess a freshman when you guys were juniors, and took me under your wing and showed me how things were done. And I came from a little school in Iowa and came out to Claremont. I think there's 42 kids in my high school class, and I didn't know, you know, I was a fine runner from a tiny school, and I didn't know what I could do. And I thank you, Goldhammer, for seeing, you know, what I was able to do and getting that out of me. We had a lot of fun. I was, you know, thinking about all the insane things we did during those track practices, and probably like the best thing I can explain to people when I tell them about who John Goldhammer is, besides a legend. I ran the steeplechase, which is you run over hurdles. It's a 3,000-meter thing, and you got hurdles, and you have a water pit, and you have to run pretty fast up to the water pit, and you leap over it. And the farther you jump, the less water you jump into. And so we would practice out on the track over the long jump pit, you know, that has sand on it. And Goldhammer would stand out there with a rake and have me jump over the rake, you know, to get me to, you know, how far can you go? And he taught me a lot of discipline, a lot of grit, and also how to have fun, how to really enjoy what you're doing. I also want to thank Kelly Beck. He was our assistant coach, and really he ran alongside me pretty much every day for 4 years. I never would have been as fast as I am for a lot of reasons, but because you paced me through things, and you know, you were my coach and my mentor and my friend, and I thank you for that. To my parents, thank you for being here and bringing me to Scripps and driving across the country to track meets, taking your vacation time, following me all this way. The rest of my family who's here as well, you guys have always been my cheer squad, and you really still are. My husband and my 2 children are sitting in the back, and I could never be more grateful for you. Oliver and Colette, this is about me being proud of something I did, but the most proud I'll ever be is to be your mom, and I can't wait to see where you go. And thank you, guys. This is wonderful.
Congratulations, Evelyn, and welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is Pam Tanase. Tanase was a 3-time all-Skyac diver for the Athenas and qualified 3 times for the NCAA Division III championships. 2 years after graduation, Tanase answered the call to coach her alma mater. Tanase led the Athenas swimming and diving team to 3 Skyac championships in 94-95, 95-96, and 98-99. And as the foundational Athena water polo coach, led the Athenas to their first 2 Skyac championships in team history. She also led the water polo team to its first place finish at the Collegiate 2 Water Polo Nationals in 1992.
Pam joined us 2 or 3 years after she graduated, and you can only imagine my excitement when I was going to get this phenomenal leader back into our department. She was selected as our women's swim coach, diving coach, and then she was tasked with taking a club water polo program and transitioning it into an intercollegiate program, which she did very well because within a few years they won a collegiate national championship.
Pam Tanase was not just the first Athenas varsity coach. She was one of the first 3 varsity coaches for women's water polo in the entire country. We attracted athletes. We did not bring in water polo players. We didn't have access to water polo players.
She took that kind of natural athletic talent and she built a team of water polo players. And it was a unique challenge and one that a lot of college level coaches don't have to do, which is actually teach their athletes how to play the sport at hand.
Pam led multiple Athena teams to SCIAC championships, to nationals, and just improved our program.
My favorite memories with Pam as our coach. 1992, winning the national championship. That was very cool. It was the inaugural year for that tournament. And then because of that, it put us in position to become varsity by my senior year, which meant we could take an airplane to nationals. We didn't have to drive little minivans all the way up the coast.
We all wore lots of hats in those days as our department was continuing to develop. Pam was an advocate for the development of women's sports teams and a strong and consistent voice for Athenas, along with Coach Jody Burton.
Everybody benefited from her in our program. We fought for women's sports. We shared the passion for wanting to provide the same opportunities for women as the men were getting.
Pam, congratulations on your induction to the Hall of Fame. You were an amazing diver, holding records possibly to this day, I'm not really sure, and an amazing swimming and water polo coach. And it's been my honor to be not only coached by you, but to coach with you as well. Congratulations.
Pam, congratulations on your induction into the CMS Athletics Hall of Fame. I was honored to have followed you in CMS swimming and diving. You set a great tone for the Athenas. Congratulations, well done.
Pam, congratulations on this well-deserved honor. You are a true Hall of Famer. You are the epitome of what it means to be an Athena, and I am so excited for you. I am so proud that you were my coach. Congratulations.
Pam, I'm so pleased and proud of what you accomplished as a student athlete and coaching partner. Especially grateful, though, for the friendship and the times that we shared together. Congratulations, and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Pam. You've had amazing success on the pool deck. You are a trailblazer on behalf of women's water polo everywhere. But the true success of a coach is evident in the creation of your lasting legacy of respect and friendship among your athletes and your coaching staff that is still here today. So thank you and congratulations.
Congratulations, Pam, on your induction into the CMS Hall of Fame. Thank you for all that you've done for women's athletics here at CMS.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer Pam Tanase. Presenting Pam with her Hall of Fame plaque is teammate Suzanne Schreiner.
That was really overwhelming. It's hard to know what to say after that, and when they said you get 4 minutes and they're going to give you the axe to get off the podium here, I had to have my cheat sheet here to make sure I get in everything that I want to say and thank everyone who made this all possible. So to start, I want to say I'm really appreciative of the effort all of my friends, family, teammates, and athletes made to be here to celebrate with me. And congratulations to all the inductees. It's really wonderful to receive this honor at the same time as 3 other Athenas from the pool are being recognized, and especially Darcy, who I had the privilege of coaching. All of your stories remind me of how we are all part of the CMS family and what a privilege it was to be an athlete here. It seems like yesterday when I got a recruiting call from Marilyn Roos to let me know what it would be like to be a diver here at CMS. And after I hung up, I made that decision to leave Michigan and come all the way to California to go to school. I did diving, I got to join a swim team, and I got to learn how to play water polo. And I really loved my time here as an athlete. And I think the highlight of my experience was by my senior year, we were able to win Skyax. And I was part of a team that got to go to NC2As where we had a pretty good high finish for us at that time. So I want to really thank Phil Hoffman for his dedication to our swim team, my diving coaches, Donna, Steve, and Tim, and our club water polo coaches, Don and Todd. So like they said in the video, after a few years of coaching the high school level, I got a chance to come back and coach the Athenas swim team and the CMS divers. Coaching the club water polo team was pretty much a volunteer job because it was just a club sport. The job was part-time for me, and I was told in my interview that women's water polo would never be varsity and I would never have a full-time job. And I took on that challenge. Obviously, coming here, I wanted to improve the competitiveness of the teams, but what I really wanted more than anything was for the Athenas to have the same opportunities and success and respect as the men's program. And in order for that to happen, that women's water polo team needed to become a varsity sport. So for 3 years, we worked really hard in the pool and advocating outside of the pool to prove that we should be given varsity status. The athletes were dedicated and committed to training and competing at a high level. And with the encouragement and support of Mike Sutton and Jody Burton, we accomplished our goal. And Skyac became the first league in the country to sponsor women's water polo. Of course, winning Skyac championships, placing at NC2As for swimming and diving, medals at the Collegiate 2 Water Polo Championships were certainly highlights of my tenure here. It was the journey to get there, watching the athletes gain confidence, the teamwork and long-lasting friendships. That was what was most rewarding for me. And so I am so greatly honored that the Hall of Fame committee chose to validate the effort, dedication, passion it took from me, all of my teammates, and the athletes I coached to create a respected and high-achieving program. This recognition is truly for all of us, pioneers and trailblazers, that laid the foundation for the success the aquatics teams enjoy today. Next, I'd like to thank my parents for their encouragement and support, for my athletics growing up and to come to school here. And then once I was coaching here, my parents and my in-laws were always there watching my son Quinn so I could focus on coaching the teams. I'd also like to thank my husband, Kirk Peacock, class of '90 All-America swimmer, for supporting me as an athlete and a coach and being a great partner. And I am grateful for Suzanne for being the best teammate, roommate, and assistant coach. There are so many water polo stories, I could never narrow down to just one favorite. But this is what I do know. If you had been able to play in a different time and era, you would be the first women's water polo player for our program inducted into this Hall of Fame. But most of all, I want to thank the athletes who trusted me and bought into my vision. After I left, I spent 2 years coaching D1 at UCSB, and that's when I came to an even greater appreciation for the balance of athletics and academics of the CMS program. In closing, I would say I'd be lying that being a business owner is as fun and as exciting as a collegiate coach. But it allowed me to go to almost every one of my kids' competitions, to coach my daughter in water polo from 12U through high school, and I would not trade that for anything. So as the ultimate team mom, it's time for me to wrap this up, and I have to go check the Fosh to see how much my daughter's team at UCSD is beating our cross-street rivals, Pomona Pitzer. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Pam, and welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame. Larry Wang is our next inductee. In 2008, as a junior, Wang partnered with Guy Shields to win the NCAA Division III Doubles Championship. As a senior, he became the first stag to ever win the singles title at the Ojai Tennis Tournament. In each of his 4 seasons, Wang was selected as an All-American to go along with being the 3-time Skyac Player of the Year and 2-time CMC Male Athlete of the Year award recipient.
Larry forever will be etched in my mind as one who stepped up in the biggest moments, and especially for the team. Not necessarily as an individual, but for the team. And there was no bigger moment than this one. 2008 NCAA Regionals, match on the line against our arch rivals, UC Santa Cruz. The time we were 1 and 2 in the country, playing for one spot in the NCAA quarterfinals at Bates. Last 2 matches on court were Larry and Mike Starr, and Larry was able to get the clinch for his team and advance us in 2008. Larry, for me, was always going to be an obvious Hall of Fame inductee. What strikes me about his career is, one, he was back-to-back winner of the CMC Male Athlete of the Year award, so that's truly exceptional. For him to come in as a freshman with his doubles partner, Guy Schills, and win first the ITA Regionals, then the ITA Nationals, and then put up an incredible fight at the Small College Super Bowl, immediately signaled that he was going to have a career that would be unparalleled. And that really culminated in 2008 when he and Guy won the NCAA doubles title, and he led his teams to unparalleled heights in the history of our program.
At Claremont, we're paired up as doubles partners, and just 2 months into the year, we win Fall Nationals, and we've been best pals ever since, and really just the most fun I've ever had on the tennis court. Lucky enough to win Spring Nationals with Larry as well a couple years later as juniors. Got our national championship ring here. I don't know if you can see it, but look, I know I speak for all our teammates, all our buddies. You're just the man. You've always been in my personal Hall of Fame. I was lucky enough to be Larry's best man at his wedding, and he's going to be in mine here later this year.
He was a terrific leader. I'll remember him as being quiet, humble, but incredibly intense and fierce in the right moments when he needed to be. Larry, it gives me incredible pleasure to welcome you into the class of 2023 CMS Hall of Fame as an inductee, and what an incredible privilege it has been to coach you and get to know you and see all the wonderful places that life has taken you. So congratulations, Larry.
So proud of you, man. You're just an absolute legend, someone that really elevated our program to new heights, and this is incredibly well-deserved. So go Stags, go Larry. Proud of you, buddy. Good job.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer, Larry Wang. Presenting Larry with his Hall of Fame plaque is Guy Schills, who Larry teamed up with to win their doubles national championship.
All right. I think I can do this. Let me get my notes here. Don't start the clock yet. All right, first off, what an incredible honor it is to be up here today. Thank you to my bro Guy for being up here with me and for those incredible words. I owe a lot of my success to Guy, to having Guy as both my doubles partner and my friend, as his presence has always brought me reassurance, and I look forward to returning the favor in the future at his own Hall of Fame induction. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, Coach Sutton, Chris Watts for organizing this incredible event. Thank you to Coach Settles for scheduling our men's tennis alumni match to this weekend so that I could spend this special weekend with a lot of my teammates. As you can obviously tell, I'm not one to give speeches, so the trimming of the speech to 4 minutes was the cherry on top of my induction call from Coach Settles. I've always been more of an introvert, which I think was part of the appeal of tennis, and now for my career radiology, where I could escape into a fortress of solitude, a personal haven for scrutiny and introspection, and after college, rely on it as a fountain of confidence. I'm grateful to my dad for introducing the sport to me when I was barely walking by toting me around to his hitting sessions with my older brother. And obviously for instilling the hard work ethic that got me to where I am today. I'm grateful to both of my parents for letting me pursue tennis as far as possible, unknowingly thrusting themselves into the craze that is American competitive youth athletics, which was another whole set of challenges for Taiwanese immigrants. They both recognized my passion for tennis pretty early on, and as my mom always likes to recount, I would always run to her bragging about how I beat Sampras or Agassi during my older brother's tennis lessons, when it was really just me and the wall. I'm thankful to my older brother for developing a big serve, probably the only big shot he had, which in turn developed my return of serves, which ended up being a weapon for me. I went on to compete on what I call the junior tour for most of my childhood, traveling with my parents essentially every weekend to tournaments at all corners of Southern California and even across the nation. And while I'm appreciative of the sacrifices they made to accommodate this, the absence of frivolous weekends with friends eventually took a toll. And by high school, my passion had faded. But that all changed when I came to CMC. CMC was not my top choice, in all honesty, but ended up being the best choice. By being part of a team, I rediscovered my love for tennis, where striving towards a shared goal with peers was much more rewarding. I'm grateful to Coach Settles for growing my game, where he identified my strengths and unlocked my potential in doubles, despite me having minimal doubles experience before college. And then also as serving as a mentor for me outside of tennis. I'll obviously never forget the tough losses, mainly losing to Santa Cruz and then watching them my senior year win nationals on our brand new home courts at Byzance the first year it was built. We never could win nationals, and I'll always wonder if there was something I could have done differently as captain. Maybe worked on my serve more, maybe stretched every once in a while, maybe I've been more vocal to my teammates. This is probably why my teammates voted me most serious at a party where we made up awards, essentially our own ESPYs. But one thing I learned from my teammates and from my time at CMC was that there was more to life than tennis, and it's more important to remember the good times, like winning doubles nationals with Guy, beating Santa Cruz my junior year after being down 0-4, and playing singles nationals at Byzance my senior year with Coach Settle's son, Christian, a current Stag, acting as my ball boy and personal cheerleader. So to close, I'm indebted to CMC and CMS for helping me shape me to be who I am today. I look forward to continuing to give back in the future, to return every year to Ducey Cup to take out the current Stags, and to root for the Athenas as a proud alum. Thank you.
Congratulations, Larry, and welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame. Our final inductee that we're honoring today as part of the class of 2023 is Kevin Zitar. During Zitar's career, Stags basketball improved in each of his 4 seasons, and during his senior year, won the SCIAC championship. He was selected as first-team All-SCIAC 3 times and was second-team All-American, first-team All-District, and SCIAC Player of the Year as a senior, to go along with his second-team All-District honors as a junior.
You could always count on Kevin to be there, leading by example. He wasn't going to be in your face, but you knew that he was there to win. And if you weren't playing your hardest or best, you were going to get talking to. And that's one thing I just really enjoy, is just seeing him as a leader and the captain of our team. That's absolutely what made him stand out.
There's so many things that make Kevin such a great player and such a special teammate. It's hard to pick one or two, but I think number one is he just held us all accountable, sometimes fiercely so, but at the same time he wasn't asking us to work any harder than he was.
Kevin wasn't afraid to get on some of his teammates. They took a bad shot, they made a bad pass, but they would respond. As a coach, you loved having Kevin Zitar on the floor. You knew you had a better opportunity to win.
And I'll never forget the first time that we met socially, probably his first couple of days of his freshman year. And in that social setting, he was, pretty quiet, kind of reserved, kind of kept to himself a little bit. And so in my head, I sort of painted a picture that, he's probably a mild-mannered guy, not overly intense, pretty laid back. And all it took was the first time we stepped on the court together, to realize just how drastically wrong I was about that.
So I guess I had to just pick one thing that jumps to mind. I'd say I can honestly say I've never once in my life walked onto a court next to him and thought I was going to lose.
But if I had to narrow it down to one memory, it would obviously be kiting down the nets at Pomona, our freshman year. Just to see the smile on his face and to know all the work it paid off for that year, that would definitely stand out as number one.
Still, I don't think the numbers do him justice. He just had this physical presence and this insane intensity on the court that made him such a great player. And it didn't matter whether it was a game or just practice. In fact, about halfway through my junior year, I finally cracked the starting lineup for good, and honestly, the first thing that went through my mind wasn't pride or excitement, but relief that I didn't have to match up against Kevin every day during scrimmages.
He really embodied what we try to be as student athletes, and I think what we try to instill in all the kids who go through CMC. Leadership on the court, leadership in the classroom, and leadership in the community. And Kevin obviously encapsulated all three of those. It was a great example and someone who I continue to look up to this day.
Yeah, it really is truly my honor, really, Kevin. I know when we played, you probably wanted me to feed you the ball a little bit more, and so I thought I'd give you this one last assist, and congratulations to you, man. You deserve it, and I can't think of a better person to join the Hall of Fame this year.
Kevin, congratulations on the induction into CMS Hall of Fame. It's an honor well deserved. I was really lucky to coach you.
Kevin, I just want to say congratulations. You were definitely a teammate, a friend, like I said, more importantly, a big brother. I'm thrilled that almost 30 years later, I still call you a friend and big brother. So congratulations. I could be happier to help induct you into the CMS Hall of Fame.
In closing, Kevin, I just want to congratulate you. I think this is well-deserved and long overdue. And if I could add just one thing, as great a player as you were, as great a teammate as you were, you've been an even better friend all these years, and for that I thank you. So congrats, big guy. Enjoy the night.
Please welcome CMS Hall of Famer Kevin Zitar. Presenting Kevin with his Hall of Fame plaque is current Stags basketball head coach Ken Scalmanini.
I wish I could still move like that. I think being last, I think I have the honor of saying thank you to Erica, Chris Watts, and Coach Sutton for putting this together. It's impressive. We can give them a round of applause. Thank you. And to Coach Ken, thank you. Thank you for everything. And congrats on an amazing career so far. Ken joined the Stags in 1995 as an assistant coach, and that was my junior year. Has since, I think, won 11 SCIAC championships and has a winning percentage in the high 70s. So congrats, Ken. Way to go. I am proud to say that I was part of Coach Wells's last SCIAC championship as a head coach, but also Ken's first as a Stag, so that's cool. I accept this award on behalf of my teammates. I didn't realize I was so hard on them. But I was very fortunate to play with some amazing shooters, guys who spread the floor, made my job a little easier. Cornelius, Whitlatch, Gravely, McKee, Len. You saw a couple of the playmakers on the video, Brian Smith, Chris Bruce, incredible distributors of the ball. Chris said he should have passed more, maybe he should have, but great player. And Brian came in as a freshman and was just a stud that held that 96 team together. And then there were guys like me, kind of the blue-collar guys, the guys that did the other things, ran the floor, played hard defense, got rebounds, shot layups, sometimes made them, and then mid-range jumpers, fought the giants on the other side. Guys like E-Daddy, Koken, Slusser, Fossey, Kellison, Canada. Thanks for being here. This doesn't happen without great teammates, so appreciate that. Also, there are not many people you can run up to mid-game, sweaty, bloody, broken, get in their face and scream, "Fix it!" So a special shout out to Steve Graves, who's up there on the rail. For his patience and ability to keep my teammates and I on the floor. That's important. Lastly, family. If you know me, I come with a big family, and there's a lot here today. It gets a little complicated, but I do want to call out a few of them. My three sisters, my Athena wife, Kirsty. Although my kids weren't born then, my three kids, Riley, who's an Athena here, soccer player, Skonaz, Tyler and Nolan, but especially my parents. Never missed a game, always there for the hug, win or lose, and we did lose sometimes. Mom, thanks for your speed and your toughness, and what I like to say, my junk in the trunk. Dad, thank you for teaching me this wonderful game, and for being that set of eyes I could find in the stands when I kind of needed a little bit more than I thought I had. So thank you. 30 years ago, a man convinced kind of a clueless 18-year-old local kid that committing to Claremont McKenna College and playing for CMS would be the best decision of his young life. That man was Coach David Wells, and he couldn't have been more right, and I couldn't be more thankful. I miss Coach dearly, but I think about him often. I love seeing Jody, the boys, even the grandkids now around campus, and I'm pumped to see another Wells, Mikey, Coach Wiscali again. The picture on the plaque is of that 1996 team, so I'm going in with the team, which is great. Right after we clinched the SCIAC championship and cut down Pomona's nets. It was a really cool moment with a special group of guys that had been through a ton that year. So this is amazing. I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who was part of it. I'm looking forward to the after party. Thank you.
Congratulations, Kevin, and welcome to the CMS Hall of Fame. To wrap up today's celebration, please welcome back Director of Athletics, Erica Perkins-Jasper, for some closing comments and a video from CMC President Hiram Chodosh.
Wow. Let's hear it again for all 13 of our inductees. Before we move to President Chodosh's remarks, I would like to recognize and thank the members of our Hall of Fame committee. Although all 13, I would say, are no-brainer inductees, this group worked very, very hard to put together this year's ceremony, so please stand. I would like to thank Kevin for thanking everybody from the athletic advancement team, Mike and Chris, who, if you're an inductee or a family or friend, you know how hard they worked to put together this event. Our events team for putting together everything in here in probably 12 hours or less has been incredible. And as you know, Anderson, Tracy, and Angie are just magical at what they do. So thank you all for that. I'd like to now share a closing video from CMC President Hiram Chodosh. For those who know President Chodosh, he is one of the biggest Stag and Athena fans that I know, and we're very fortunate to have him as our president here. So I'll hand it off to President Chodosh on the video.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to
congratulate our inductees in particular, and all of you for all of your support of them and our entire CMS program. I want to join Erica today in her remarks and apologize for not being able to be here in person. I'm just heartbroken that travels took me away today and I just couldn't overcome the conflict. It strikes me that each of our inductees had a tremendous impact, not just on the outcomes, not just on the stat sheets, but a tremendous impact on their teammates. And not just by example, but because they were great teammates, great team players, and really had the collective in their sights as how to support each and every person around them. In many ways, the inductees set the foundation. They stand up and provide those broad shoulders that our current scholar, leader, athletes stand on today with the exceptional success of our program. And not just the results, but the sportsmanship, the leadership, and not just on the courts, fields, and in the pools, but leadership on campus, intellectual leadership in our classrooms. It's one of the few athletic programs in the world where students can study without interference, where they can lead on campus without distraction and still compete at the very highest levels in their sport. And we are just so proud of them and so proud of all of you. And I wanted to share how excited I am for each of our inductees today. And I wanted to share how proud I am of each of you and our inductees today and what we have all built through our outstanding CMS program. Thank you very much.
So again, congratulations to all of our inductees, to your families, friends, coaches, and teammates who have been part of your journey. I've been moved by your stories and probably even more wowed by your accomplishments on and off the field. Thank you for showing us the power and the impact that athletics can have on us individually, but also as a community. And now here's the fun part. It's time for the reception. Go Stags and Athenas.
Now, with the ceremony over, we hope that you will continue the celebration by joining us for a reception here in the main arena. Thank you for sharing this very special celebration of the history and excellence of CMS athletics. Have a great day. If we could have all inductees, please report to the stage. All inductees, please report to the stage. Thank you.